Looking forward, the job does not get any easier. As you heard earlier, we aspire to a fully electrified global fleet. That fleet, from an industry standpoint, needs 9 petawatt hours of charging on an annual basis. And while Tesla charging certainly doesn't have to supply all of that, it does require that, for our part, we have a few new focuses in order to scale. First, if you want a fully electrified global fleet, all of those vehicles have to have a great and reliable charging experience. So, as many of you know, recently we have started opening up our networks on a global basis. Over 50% of our superchargers in Europe are currently open to other electric vehicles. We've also opened up in Asia Pacific with our first sites in Australia. And just yesterday, we opened our first 10 supercharger sites here in North America and the US to other electric vehicles. We've also invested a lot to be able to make this a really easy experience for our new customers. All you have to do is sign into our Tesla app to unlock a post and start charging. We've also, on physical site changes, we've also added hardware to our sites. They're called Magic Docks. And basically, that is installed in areas where we have different charging standards, and they allow for other electric vehicles to come to our site without having to bring their own adapters or hardware. We've also just started installing our 4th generation supercharger posts. Those are being installed in Europe first. And while it's not a big mention, not a big thing to mention, they do have longer charging cables so that we can more easily reach the charge ports of different vehicles. The second thing we need to make sure we do when we talk about scaling all of this charging infrastructure is we need to make sure that it's powered from renewable sources. We're very proud that over the last 2 years, we've procured enough renewable energy to offset the amount of charging we've provided to customers. But as we look forward and we talk about this fully electrified fleet on a global basis, we really want to make sure that the demand for charging more closely follows when renewable sources are available. Now, this chart is on an aggregate basis for the US, and it varies based on what your renewable generation sources are locally. But basically, what this shows is we want to kind of move that charging curve, and for solar and wind in this example, it means more daytime charging. And we think the best way to go towards daytime charging is to install AC charging that is convenient and low cost everywhere vehicles are typically parked throughout the day. So that's really the plan. While supercharging and home charging definitely stay a big part of the puzzle, our teams are currently scaling to install AC charging everywhere vehicles charge during the day so we can power them from renewable sources. So summing it up, while we've spent 10 years installing infrastructure that is low cost, it's efficient, and it provides a great customer experience, we're really just getting started when we talk about supporting Master Plan Part 3. We've got to scale capacity on an industry-wide basis to 9 petawatt hours on an annual basis. We've got to open up to non-Teslas and make the charging experience for everybody really great, and we've got to power all of this via renewable sources. And one more thing, yes, we've got to scale our infrastructure, and yes, we want to power it via renewable sources, but we're Tesla, so we also want to make sure that we're continuing to focus on providing really incredible charging experiences.